You spoke a lot about qualification and certification, but what about personal values on the CV? Andrea, do you want to answer first?
Yeah, I can answer that. Thank you. So yeah, again, as I said earlier, I want to learn as much as possible about the person that is interviewing or applying to a role, not only from a professional perspective, but also from a personal perspective. So I would look. We said three things at the beginning of the things that we look at when we review a CV. That would be maybe the fourth or the fifth thing that I see is definitely if there's a section of personal interest, I will look at that. However, I'm always very careful about one thing, which is my and everyone's uh, unconscious bias towards people that think and do the things that you like. So I need to be careful when I do that, that I don't gravitate to people that like me, like running, or like me, love cinema, or these kind of things. I want my team to be a mix of different experiences, different skills, and different personalities. So I need to train myself to overcome the unconscious bias that looking at the personal profile and the personal interest might generate. Tom, what do you think?
I think an interview is a great chance to understand that, and particularly what I'm looking for, and I've got a vested interest in finding out about, through the questions I ask and the interactions in the interview, what's the personality like of this person? Do they bring enthusiasm? Can they fit into the team? And one of the ways in which I do that, I've got my opinion. And if the candidate has performed really well, and I think this person is a great candidate for this role, if there's time in the process, I will get other members of the marketing team to give me an opinion, have an informal meeting with them, maybe in a group setting, or an additional part of the process, because I think what that does is it gives the candidate who's potentially joining the business a real sense of who they're going to work with. And the interview can be, no matter how we try to avoid it, it can be a very formal setting sometimes. So to give the candidate, you want to see the candidate in a more real situation, and we can do that through setting exercises, that are outside the interview process, so that we can see how they work and their work. Can they perform an exercise? But I have done that once in my career, where I was hugely impressed with what came back from that exercise, that remote exercise, that the person got the job. And then about 6 months later, I said, when you did that exercise, I was very surprised because you're a numbers person, but it came back beautifully written, and that really impressed me. And the candidate, the colleague by that stage, said quite flippantly, "Oh, I got my dad to do it." And I just couldn't believe that. So I think the process is designed to allow the candidate and the recruiter to explore every avenue. I think personality is just as important as qualifications. I think knowledge, a combination of knowledge, personality, experience are the key ingredients, really, because they're the things that will enable a candidate to do really well in the role. You've got to have a personality that is curious in marketing. That's something I'm looking for. I want the candidate to show me that they can think differently and apply their knowledge and way of thinking and personality to both the team and problems we face. So I think I'm looking for curiosity, enthusiasm, and also the ability to think somewhat differently.